Thanks for tuning in to the Rapture Report. My name is Jason Roman, and today we're going to go over some world current events and see how they relate to Bible prophecy. So let's get right into it. I have a news report here from Voice of America News, and the title reads, "World Leaders Call for Efforts to Curb Growing Global Financial Crisis." This was on September 3rd, 2008, and it says here that UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon opened the meeting warning that the world faces multiple crises and urged the international community to take a united approach in resolving them. "We face a global crisis," said Ban Ki-moon, "a global energy crisis, a global food crisis. Trade talks have collapsed yet again. We have seen new outbreaks of war and violence, new rhetoric of confrontation, and climate change ever more clearly threatens our planet." When we go back through this, just pay special attention to the verbiage he uses. Very interesting how he said that the international community has to take a united approach in resolving all these things. And this is coming from the UN leader. So we can see how that definitely relates to Bible prophecy. It's a perfect platform for an Antichrist to come in and take charge of everything. We have another article here that was in the New York Times on September 19th. And the title reads, "Congressional Leaders Stunned by Warnings." In Washington, it was a room full of people who rarely hold their tongues. But as the Fed chairman, Ben Bernanke, laid out the potentially devastating ramifications of the financial crisis before congressional leaders on Thursday night, there was a stunned silence at first. Mr. Bernanke and Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson Jr. had made an urgent and unusual evening visit to Capitol Hill, and they were gathered around a conference table in the offices of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. "When you listen to him describe it, you gulped," said Senator Charles E. Schumer, Democrat of New York. You can see they had a lot of fun at that meeting. And we're going to move on to some news articles on wars and rumors of wars that are going on throughout the world. I have here an article from Depka File, and it says 10 Russian warships have docked at the Syrian port, and Israeli and military and naval commanders were taken by surprise by Rear Admiral Andrei Baranov's disclosure that 10 Russian warships are already anchored at the Syrian port of Tartus, Depka Files military sources report. So basically the Israeli military just woke up one day and found 10 Russian warships at the very northern tip of Israel, just parked there, ready to go. This is very interesting because in Ezekiel, it speaks about that exact account happening. It says in Ezekiel 38, chapter 14, it says, "Therefore, Son of Man, prophesy and say unto Gog, Thus saith the Lord God, that in that day when my people of Israel dwelleth safely, shalt thou not know it? And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company, and a mighty army." So here it's showing that Gog is Russia leading a confederacy out of the northern part where they are now. As a matter of fact, if you look on a map or a globe, and if you look at Russia and where Moscow is, and you draw a line almost directly south, it almost goes right through Israel. It's very interesting. So it's no doubt that Gog is that northern confederacy that is going to come out and come south down to Israel. And they are there right now. So that's an interesting fulfillment of Bible prophecy right before our eyes. Right now, I just want to move into some weather patterns that we've been seeing, signs in the heavens. And the AP reported on Hurricane Ike that kids are still not in school. And it has taken 2 weeks to restore power to homes and businesses. So it's been already 2 weeks and kids aren't still even back in school. And actually, Hurricane Ike was also felt as far as Ohio, as the storm damages could top 500 million. So it just pretty much ripped all the way across the United States and went all the way into Ohio to cause over $500 million worth of damage. That was some storm. Also, as we speak, even right now, Typhoon Jiangmi is hammering the Taiwan right now with winds up to 130 miles an hour, and the storm has already claimed more than 32 lives in Vietnam. So we're seeing some wild weather patterns. And right now, I don't really have a politics forum, but I do want to show you a quick clip, and I'm going to roll it right now.
You live here? Yes. Well, maybe you know what a zombie is. When a person dies and is buried, it seems there's certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
Horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip. And, well, moving right along right now, there is so much more to go over in the news. But why watch the news, you might say? Why are we watching all these bad things, concerning the coming of the Lord? Well, it's not necessarily that we're watching the bad things, but Jesus himself said that these are signs of his return. And when we read in Luke chapter 21, verses 34 through 36, it says, "And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time that your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that day comes upon you unawares. For as a snare it shall come on all of them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. So watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man." And it also says in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 5 through 7, it says, ye are all children of the light and children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For that they sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. So here are just clear words that Jesus wants us to watch what's going on. It's not necessarily dwelling on the bad news, but again, it's just paying attention to his coming and all the things that are coming down. And so that we could tell one another also all these things. So be encouraged. So when the bad news gets really bad, it's really great news for us. And I just want to thank you right now for watching the program, and you have a wonderful week.
People get